Welcome back, viewers. Today we'll discuss and practice MCQs about the teaching methods and techniques. This is part 1 of its type. Let's start. First question is expected life outcomes from education are referred to as learning, evaluation, aims, or pedagogy. The correct answer is aims. Every system of education is based on ideology of nation, social development, intellectual development, or skill development. Answer is ideology of nation. The main objective of child-centered teaching method is to develop the learning abilities in children in free way, to develop the skills in children, to develop independence in students, or all of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Next is good teaching is best reflected by attendance of students, number of distinctions, meaningful questions asked by students, or pin drop silence in the class. Answer is meaningful questions asked by students. Which is not the advantage of team teaching? Better utilization of resources, better planning, better use of teaching techniques, or better financial benefits of teacher? The answer is better financial benefits of teacher. The process of selecting units from a population to estimate characteristics of the population is called analyzing, inference, research, or sampling. Answer is sampling. The use of physical punishment for class management is called extinction technique, situation technique, time-out technique, or corporal punishment. The correct answer is corporal punishment. An assessment is carried out through the course is called initial assessment, diagnostic assessment, formative assessment, or summative assessment. Answer is formative assessment. In John Dewey's student-centered approach of learning, the role of the teacher is of a formal authority, delegator, instructor, or facilitator. Answer is facilitator. Which of these skills do you consider extremely important for a teacher? Listening skills, managerial skills, oration skills, or teaching skills? Answer is teaching skills. The instructional approach in which objectives are presented to learners in chronological order is known as chronological sequencing, chronological ordering, chronological teaching, or none of these. The answer is chronological sequencing. One-on-one approach to teaching or reteaching concept is termed as counseling, tutoring, guidance, or none of these. Answer is tutoring. When the teacher displays picture for a second or two and then asks students to describe as much as they can remember from what they saw, he or she is trying to improve dash visual memory of the students, memorization of the students, oral memory of the students, or none of these. The answer is the first one, that is visual memory of the students. According to John Locke, a child's mind does not contain any innate ideas, memory, observation, or imagination. Correct answer is innate ideas. The first ever International Day of Education was celebrated on announced by United Nations General Assembly. It was on 24th January 2019. The dash says we are motivated to gain rewards and avoid punishment. Law of effect, law of exercise, law of readiness, or law of connectionism? Correct is the first one, that is law of effect. According to the philosophy of idealism in education, the subject matter of curriculum should be mathematics, science, physical world, or mind. Last one is correct, that is mind. According to the theory of forms or theory of ideas, material world is an of the real world, shadow, image, part, or sign. Correct answer is image. The skill when students try to build abstract knowledge is called originating, characterizing, evaluating, synthesizing. The correct answer is B, that is characterizing. According to Aristotle, virtue is a state between excess and deficiency, natural, intermediate, real, or artificial. Answer is intermediate state. Which of the following is not an informal assessment? Assignment, observation, rating scale, or discussion? Assignment is not an informal assessment. A common technique to help people begin the creative process is calculations, brainstorming, thoroughness, or mental shortcuts. B, that is brainstorming, is correct one. According to John Dewey, educational process has two sides: economical and social, psychological and sociological, economical and philosophical, or sociological and philosophical. Correct one is B, that is psychological and sociological. Epistemology is a branch of philosophy concerned with the theory of education, learning, knowledge, or philosophy of education. Correct answer is it is theory of knowledge. The cooperative learning method, which combines whole class learning plus heterogeneous small groups, is termed as circles of learning, circles of knowledge, circle of conceptual learning, or none of these. Correct answer is it is known as circle of learning. According to the dash, the more you do something, the better you are at it. Law of effect, law of exercise, law of readiness, or law of connectionism. Correct is law of exercise. The advocates of philosophy of pragmatism believe that reality is imagination, stagnant, constantly changing, or related to mind. Correct is constantly changing. The famous book The Republic was written by whom? It was written by Plato. The main aim of classroom teaching is to give information, to develop inquiring mind, to develop personality of students, to help students pass examination. The correct is to develop inquiring method. An assessment that is conducted prior to start of teaching or instruction is called dash. Initial assessment, formal assessment, formative assessment, or summative assessment. Correct is the first one, that is initial assessment. The models based on the philosophy that learning occurs when there are changes in mental structures are called knowledge learning models, affective learning models, cognitive learning models, or psychomotor learning models. Correct is cognitive learning models. Next question is, rather than telling teacher, lead student to concept through a series of order questions is Socratic method, Aristotelian method, heuristic method, or Platonic method. The first one is it is Socratic method. Which from the following is termed as student-centered learning method? Direct instruction, inquiry-based learning, cooperative learning. The answer is 2 and 3. are the correct answer. That is inquiry-based learning and cooperative learning. The world of education approach emphasizes the balanced development of the dash head and heart, head and hands, heart and hands, head, heart and hands. The third one the last one, that is D, is correct, head, heart and hands. The extension technique of classroom management is a technique where teacher dash any negative behavior, divert, ignore, encourage or discourage. Correct answer is last one, that is discourage. Interactive phase is likely to fail if diagnostic phase is defective, interactive phase is not properly activated, post-active phase is not properly planned, or D, both and A and B. Both A and B are correct. Reliability of an assessment relates to dash of an assessment. Usefulness, quality, consistency, or relevance. Correct is consistency. An assessment is dash if it is consistently achieves the same result with the same students. Valid, invalid, reliable, or unreliable. Correct answer is reliable. As people gets older, the ability of applying or maintain attention dash increases, decreases, stays constant, or remains unaffected. Correct answer is it decreases. How does an effective teacher make students attentive in class? By distributing sweets, by punishing naughty children, by making one's teaching interesting, or by telling stories. Correct one is by making one's teaching. Conference are face-to-face dash discussions, negotiations, meetings, or none of these. Conferences are face-to-face discussions. First one is correct. A written work by a student to demonstrate some literary or linguistic knowledge is termed as demonstration, comprehension, composition, or homework. Correct is composition. In a dash, students formally present material, then respond to the questions from the audience, dialogue, discussion, symposium, or seminar. Correct is symposium. An old but effective teaching strategy is read aloud, reading, silent reading, or all of these. Correct is read aloud strategy. Dash is a method where the students ask questions each other during presentation. Peer classification, oral question, peer questioning, or peer tutoring. Answer is C, that is peer questioning. A posteriori knowledge is a knowledge that is known by analysis, information, experience, or evidence. Correct is C, that is experience. The book A Brief History of Time is written by Aristotle, Davy, Steinberg, or Hawking. It is the last one by Stephen Hawking. According to the law of effect, if a stimulus results in a positive outcome, the stimulus response bond is strengthened, weakened, stabilized, or unsterilized. Correct is it is strengthened. According to Dash, stimulus response bonds are stronger if an individual is ready to learn law of effect, law of exercise, law of readiness, law of connectionism. Correct answer is law of readiness. There is dash in working memory as people gets older. Upgradation, degradation, no change, a slight change. The answer is B, degradation. Plato believed that talent and intelligence are distributed generally, not distributed generally. Not distributed genetically. Distributed genetically, not distributed genetically, distributed gender wise, not distributed gender-wise. The correct answer is not distributed genetically. The standard deviation is the dash of the variance: square, square root, cube, cube root. Correct is square root. We calculate average marks of a student in the way as we calculate arithmetic mean, geometric mean, standard deviation, or variance. Correct is arithmetic mean. The dash is a measure of how spread out points are from the mean. Arithmetic mean, geometric mean, standard deviation, or variance. It is standard deviation. Who advocated removing children from their mother's care and raising them as wards of the state? Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, or John Locke? It was Plato. According to John Davy, children should experience dash in school to make them better citizens. Rules, discipline, democracy, or practical implementation. It was democracy. The law of effect can be effectively used in dash accelerate learning, curriculum development, classroom management, or teaching methods. It is classroom management. The satiation techniques of classroom management is a technique where instead of punishing negative behaviors, the teacher might decide to actually dash the negative behavior. Encourage, discourage, ignore, or divert. Correct is first one, that is encourage. Dash is a pair activity in which students have a short period, typically 30 seconds, to share all they know by writing a graphic organizer. Quick write, quick order, quick response, or quick discussion. First one, quick write, is correct. Dash is an instructional approach in which objectives are presented to learners, beginning with unknown concept and proceeding to known concept. Known to unknown, unknown to known, or unknown to unknown, or none of these. Correct answer is unknown to known. According to the law of effect, if a stimulus results in a negative outcome, the stimulus response bond is strengthened, weakened, stabilized, or unsterilized. Correct is it is weakened. The brain dash as people gets older, shrinks, expands, stays constant, remains unaffected. The brain shrinks. First one is correct. An assessment that is generally carried out at the end of a course to assign students course grades is called summative assessment. Dialectic or dialectical method is a discourse between opposing parties to establish the truth through investigation, dialogue, reasoned arguments, or presenting proofs. Correct is reasoned arguments. Bloom's taxonomy is a set of dash learning domains. 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct is 3 learning domains. To break information into parts and to examine the information is called analyzing, evaluating, synthesizing, or originating. It is called analyzing. Validity of assessment relates to the dash of an assessment. It relates to relevance of assessment. Last one is correct. Rousseau advocated an educational method which consisted of removing the child from school, burden, society, or past memory. Correct is C, that is society. According to Plato, the highest goal in all of education is knowledge of the dash, science, mathematics, philosophy, or good. Correct is last one, that is good. There are dash laws of connectionism. 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct is there are 3 laws of connectionism. Which of the following can affect the results of students in examination? Number of teachers, parents, number of class works and home works given, working hours and days of the schools, all of the above. The correct is all of the above. How shall you help a student who has failed in the half yearly examination? By giving grace marks, by reteaching a difficult concept, by holding re-examination, by asking parents to arrange private tuition. Correct is B, that is by reteaching difficult concepts. The phrase equal educational opportunities in Pakistan means equal opportunities for all children to have success to education. Equal type of education available for each child, equality of education standards for each child, all of the above. The correct one is the first one. Conference may occur between student and student, teacher and students, parents and teacher, all of these. Correct is all of these. During facilitative questioning, the teacher passes close-ended questions, written questions, open-ended questions, oral questions. The answer is open-ended question. Dash is a form of discussion that starts with individual response. If the students then formulate students pairs, then the pairs are used to form groups of four. Discussion web, concept web, creative web, or none of these. The first one, that is discussion web, is correct. When a learner is studying simply because work is assigned by the teacher, he is doing experimental learning, sensory learning, cognitive memorizing, or none of these. Correct one is cognitive memorizing. Round table discussion involves how many participants? 2 to 3, 2 to 8, 3 to 7, 4 to 5. Correct is last one, that is 4 to 5 participants. Dash are visual frameworks to help the learner make the distinction, make connections between concepts. Graphic representation, graphic organizers, graphic charts are none of these. Correct answer is graphic organizers. According to Socrates, physical objects and events are dash of their ideal form. Shadows, images, parts, signs. The first one, that is shadows, is correct. Stay blessed. See you in the next.